that. So, and there's probably a couple things here and there, and this is a fertile ground for you over here. And all right, oh, look at this right there. There's one. Okay, so you kind of go through and do that, right? I mean, you get rid of all the blemishes, which is the first thing that I would do anyway. And let's just see if we get any more here. Oh, look, there's a little hole in here. All right, and then, all right, look away for just a moment, please, as I go down here. All right, and just look at that. There's some stuff down here. It's pretty bad. And here too. All right, so we got rid of that. Now the next thing I would do, and this is a really important part of photo, I do this for men and for women, is to brighten their eyes a little bit. So now this is in Photoshop CS. So I went to the adjustment brush here in Photoshop CS. And, okay, well I'm taking a little liberty here. But, I want to make her eyes a little brighter, so I'll kind of go in here and I'm using the adjustment brush. Adjust the whites of the eyes a little bit right here. All right, so you can do that pretty well. All right, now, if I wanted to add like more contrast to her eyes, I just hit the little new button. All right, and then I'm going to contrast. Now, when you click the little plus button here, you know, it makes everything else go to 0. So it zeroes everything else. I'm going to keep clicking it until it goes to 100. And I'm going to zoom in to the eyes really big. Don't ever do this alone at night with his eye big. This is going to freak you out. All right, I'm going to look how I'm painting contrast into her eye, like that. We'll go over to the other eye, and then we'll paint some contrast in there. So it's getting better. All right. And then I might do one more thing. I would add another new little pin, and then I'm going to darken it. And then I'm just going to go in here with a real small brush, and I'm just going to kind of paint around the edge of the iris down here just to kind of darken that in because this is supposed to make people like you better or something. I don't know. If the darkness of your iris is very appealing. All right, here we go. And then a little bit over here. Oh, that's a nice iris. Okay, here we go. And just kind of come over here. It's really way too dark. But this is the cool thing about the adjustment brush, which was not really introduced in CS, but anyway, the thing about it is I always like paint with way too much, and then I can go back and say, wow, her eye looks terrible, and then I can just adjust it later. So I have like complete control after the fact, which is kind of interesting because when you think about using Camera Raw, you have to guess first. When you're using the adjustment brush, you have to guess. I wonder how much brighter her eye should be. You pick some wild number. It doesn't matter. You paint it in later and then go, I can kind of fix it back. All right, let's look here. So let's see what else she needs, because she needs a lot of stuff. So she's going to need highlights in her hair. So I'm going to hit new, and we'll crank up the exposure a little bit, and we'll just get a nice big brush, and we'll add some, we'll take the highlights that are there and just accentuate them with a little bit of accentuations tool. And again, you can pick any number you want because you can fix it later. And then, this is one thing, we're going to do dodging and burning. So I'm going to kind of sculpt her face with a little dodging and burning. So we hit new. Every time you want to do a new thing, you hit new because it lets you adjust it separately. And we're going to start off with some burning. So I'm just going to lower it a little bit. Oh, that's too much. We don't want to hold a stop there. Here we go. And I'm just going to kind of just sculpt this here, little sculpting. So what I'm doing is making everything that's dark just a little bit darker. And then we'll go down here, and there's some darkness here. And then down here, there's a little darkness. And just whatever's dark, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker. Now, I do always do this stuff a little bit darker than it should be. Because again, I know that I can go back later and fix it. But at least this way I can see it as I'm doing it. So every little shadow gets accentuated, and then there's a little tiny bit there and there, and it just made her nose look bigger. That wasn't good. Then we hit new, and now we'll go back and do some dodging, and I'll just put a little ooh, that's big. Hold on, make that smaller, and just kind of paint a little stroke in her nose and make that a little brighter. And I'm making it darker. That's not good. So brighter's that way. Let's go her nose there, a little bit here. It was kind of you not to say anything though. Because that would have been, it's getting darker. All right, so there we go, a little bit more. And you can kind of just figure out, but you go down here, you can see her highlights, and you can, do that stuff. All right, and then again, you can go back and make it kind of a little tasty. And the last thing I would do is you can actually do skin softening here too. So let's do that. Let's go, and we're going to go to clarity. Now, we add clarity to make things really like snappy and punchy and all that kind of stuff. We're going to go and add negative clarity. So let's undo that, right? Hit new, and I'm going to take clarity down to 0. And what that does is now you can just paint in like softening, skin softening. See the skin softening? No? It's softening there, trust me. Okay, hold on. When you go over this part here, you'll see. All right, and then see there, all that goes away. It's all getting soft and what's the word? Viscous. And in here, just kind of whoa over that, and it helps if you make sounds. And let me just I'm doing this kind of quick. I'm sure that when you do this, you'll take your time. because this is a hack job. But let me get a bigger brush here. You can use the little brush control. You can use the same keyboard shortcuts you use in Photoshop, which is neat because this is part of Photoshop. So, well, it's like people go, can you use the same keyboard shortcuts? No, of course not. No, you actually can't. All right, we're almost done here, and this is naughty, so we'll just move away from there. And then, almost done here. All right, so, ooh, something happened there. Traffic accident. We'll move up here. All right, but look, so I'm going to hide all these pins. See the little thing called show pins? I'm going to hide them. So let's look here. Oh, her eyes aren't bright enough. So I need to bring the pins back, and you know the brightness of her eyes it's not really bright enough. So I'm just going to crank that up, maybe add some brightness here and all that stuff. I can actually add a whole new pin and just say, you know what, let's just paint right over that area right there. Now she's got really, really super bright eyes. But we can bring it down a little bit. That got crazy. Hold on a little bit. There we go. All right, now we'll hide the pins and we'll just take a little look at a before and after so you can see the full retouch down there. See, she's all retouched and everything. And now she can like get a date or something. Okay, so, but here's the thing. All right, I'm gonna walk over there if you turn on the lights. Okay, so here's the thing. This is what I think was so cool. I mean, obviously you can process raw images, right? That's great. And we can do stuff like this, but here's what I think that it's about Camera Raw that is so exciting to me and I think is really, really neat. Because I just did that whole retouch and there was something that you never saw. You know what it was? A progress bar. You never saw a progress bar. Anytime you're working in Camera Raw, everything happens in real time. Everything happens just as you move it. You never wait for anything. And so think about this, because this is a bigger thing than you think. Because you can put all this stuff together, work as much as you want, and then when you're all done with all your changes, you press one button and like in a second or two, it applies every single change for you. And they're all undoable. So it's pretty amazing. It really adds a whole nother level of stuff. So that's what I thought was really cool. It's not just for just opening raw images, but also I dream of a day where Camera Raw would not just open raw images, but JPEGs and TIFFs. Oh, wait a minute, we can do that. Okay, anyway. So that was CS, but in CS2, they added some more new stuff, and I happen to have some of those written down here, because in CS2, they added vanishing point. Very cool stuff.